I should have known better than to come crawling back. No one escapes room 204 unscathed, least of all me. I found her easy. Cassidy sauntered toward me, a smirk on her face and challenge in her eyes. But it was the way she looked away when I approached, the slight flush on her cheeks, the bare shoulders that hinted at the curves beneath that dress. Yeah, I found her pretty easy. This wasn't the first time. In fact, it was the second time I let her go. And neither time would be the last, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Back then, I was just a scared kid trying to figure out a world that felt too big and too loud. That camp had been my first real taste of freedom. And then she'd shown up, all sunshine and smiles and tangled limbs. She called me Nova then too, said she liked the sound. By the end of that trip, I knew two things for sure. I was hopelessly devoted to her, even though I'd never kissed a girl before, not really, and I wanted to be more like Cassidy. Stronger, wilder, full of surprises. But I was just Nova, the girl who liked to hide. 17 years later, nothing had changed. I was still Nova, but I was also something else. Captain Nova Sinclair, Navy SEALs. The base called me Ice Queen. My specialty was interrogation. I could read a suspect better than they could read themselves. Except Cassidy. With her, I lost my cool. Every move she made set off alarms in my head, and every word she said echoed with hidden meanings. Damn her. For stirring feelings I thought I'd buried. Feelings that threatened to consume me whole. I asked her questions about the chip. She gave me evasive answers, but I could see the truth behind her guarded eyes. She wasn't a spy. She was a soldier. Just like me, we both served different countries, different causes. But we were two sides of the same coin. Both of us carrying scars we refused to show. The more time I spent with Cassidy, the more I realized she was like me, lost and alone in a world that demanded we be fearless. In the dead of night, when the moon was high and the shadows were deep, we'd steal moments together in her cell. Stolen kisses that tasted like secrets and whispered promises that meant nothing and everything. I knew I shouldn't let her in, but the walls around my heart crumbled one touch at a time. I fell for her again. Hard and fast and reckless, but I was a fool. This wasn't a fairy tale. This was war, and in war, there were no happily ever afters. Only battles fought and won and lost. I knew it in my bones. But when she looked at me with those soulful eyes, I forgot everything. I only saw her, the woman who haunted my dreams and made my skin burn with desire. I helped her escape, knowing I was risking everything, my career, my life, but I didn't care. All that mattered was her. Until the day I found out I'd been betrayed, again. She'd used me, manipulated me, and then she'd left me with nothing but a memory and a half-broken heart. But even then, when I heard her voice on the other end of that phone line, I couldn't stay away. Because that's what Cassidy did. She drew me in with the promise of forever, and then she made me burn. The second time, the fire was worse. I walked into that room knowing the risks. But maybe I was hoping against hope that things could be different this time. Maybe I wanted to believe that she'd come back for me. But Cassidy wasn't interested in second chances. Not with me anyway. She was playing a bigger game, a deadlier one, and I was just another pawn in her plan. I see her now across the crowded room, laughing, talking, alive. And I feel that familiar ache in my chest, the one that tells me I'm watching her slip away from me again. I want to reach for her, but my hand stops halfway. Because some battles aren't won with fists or guns. They're won with the heart, a heart that's already broken once and might not survive a second fall.